Welcome back to Neverwinter Nights 2 Hard Mode Edition. This is the second time I'm trying to record this because the first time my computer crashed just at the end of the recording, so really unfortunate. This time I hope it will be good, it will be okay. So, let's continue. Wait a sec. Okay. Have you any news regarding the lizard folk? The lizard folk have a deal they want to make with you. You cannot trust those beasts. They have just enough intelligence to avoid killing their own young. But I will listen, what do you want? They agreed to leave Whitecliff alone if the village agrees not to trespass into the territory. How were we to know that our village was so close to their lair? Surely it would be easier if they were to find another home along the coast. The thought of Lizardman clan living so close to our village. I don't like this. Make this deal and your troubles will be over. And you are willing to guarantee this? I don't see how you can. You will bound for Neverwinter the moment the ship is ready to leave. Diplomacy. I found the chieftain to be reasonable and honorable. He will hold up to his end of the bargain. Failure, perhaps. Then again, I certainly would have agreed to anything if I knew I was in danger. You know better than the lizard folk if you insist on holding to your prejudices. I suppose you're right. The lizard folk have not yet harmed a villager directly. Perhaps they are more civilized than I thought. Very well. I agree to the bargain against my better judgment. I just hope I have made the correct decision. I think I deserve a little something extra for all this work. Of course, I shall ensure that every man we can spare will help with the repairs of the double eagle. Again, some experience. Ah, there you are. We took up collection here, in the village, and I have a surprise for you. There's enough there to pay for the passage to Neverwinter. It's not a lot, but you've done so much that we had to find some way to show our appreciation. I'd also like you to have this armor. I've been our village for generations, and hasn't been much action. I thought it might be able to put to better use. This is the best you can do? I'm afraid so. We are not wealthy people, but we do what we can. Humble rewards for a grateful village. Thank you again. Now I believe you have a ship to board. Safe travels to you. No, I'm not leaving late. There's still a few things I need to do. Oh, come on. This armor +1 immunity to charm person and dominate person. Let's give this to Nishka. Let's give gloves of concentration to Eleni.
Everybody, follow me.
Nishka.
I am listening.
Eleni.
I believe so.
The captain is willing to wait as long as he needs to. Have you come to say your farewell? Yes. It's time we continue to Neverwinter. Ah, my stomach's already started churning. How long is this trip? Oh, do be quiet, Kelgar. Enjoy the waves while you can. I'll say, and it would be nice to travel without being hunted for once.
The shard you have found, show it to me.
Yes, Sierra? Sierra? Is that what you sought?
Sierra?
No, it is much more. Forget the betrayer. Forget our vengeance. These shards, they must all be found. Whatever forces you need, we shall grant you, but these shards must be ours.
Of course, Zieri. It shall be done.
Dalrin. Lord Dalrin now, I hear.
Who's there?
Come now. You remember? Has it really been so long?
You... But you died at the battle at West Harbor.
Delayed, perhaps. My imprisonment was most distressing. But dead? Now how could I die with so much left unfinished? And there is so much more left to do.
Wait.
So this is Neverwinter? Suppose it's passable for a city built by humans. Can't say I care for it though. You want a proper city, you build down, not up.
This place feels unnatural. The wood and stone, it's as if they've been silenced.
I wish you'd both be silent. The entire trip was just one long whine from the two of you.
Oh, me stomach feels funny. This boat rocks like a baby's cradle.
This water is so unnatural and deep, not like the swamp of dead people I grew up in. Not that I've got great memories of this place, but it's home. So, where are we going first?
My uncle's inn should be close by. Let's head there first.
Not sure I can stomach any food yet. A stiff drink and a good tavern brawl, on the other hand. I say lead the way. Besides, I'd welcome a stable bed after being trapped on that filthy excuse for a boat.
Let's go to the sunken flagon. Let's talk to Isho.
I didn't ask for your company. Be careful. You don't want to cross me. This here is my place, and way over there is your place. So, know your place. It'd help if you stood over there, downwind.
Let's talk to Kelgar.
Something you need?
Who are you?
Elgar Iron Fist, of course. It's a wonder you haven't heard of me, considering how I've made my mark up and down the Sword Coast for almost a year. All right, go on and ask them.
Why were those men trying to attack you outside the Weeping Willow?
They were in the mood to threaten, but not fully in the mood to start a fight. I think they were expecting me to drop the coin and leave quickly, which just goes to show you they don't know me too well. It's a shame they didn't keep it a friendly fight. Some people have no stomach for using their fists when they have a weapon at hand.
Why are you so eager to fight?
Eager to fight? Well, I suppose I am, if you can call it that. I mean, it's all in good fun. Some take pride in craftsmanship, or in hunting, or in haggling for the best price on a blade or other piece of steel. Me, talking with my fists is my art form. Every tavern's an opportunity, I say. There's usually someone who could take a few punches to the gut and groin before they start weeping like a child.
But why do you do that?
Well, I don't know. I enjoy it, I guess. It's a mark of pride to be able to stand tall and take every punch, then give it right back until I'm the only one standing.
Is that usually how it turns out?
Most of the time. Only beaten really bad once. But I learned from it, and I'm determined not to let it happen again. Thing is, I'm glad it happened. It was my destiny.
What happened?
Well, you see, I used to win. Almost undefeated. But there was this time in a tavern far from here that I chose a fight that ended up choosing me. It was fate, I tell you.
Fine, maybe you just took a blow to the head a little too hard.
Well, it wasn't much of a fight. You see, there were these skinny-robed humans, barely twigs, that were sitting at the bar when one of our competitions broke out. There were chairs getting smashed, people screaming, tankards being used as clubs. Ah, glorious.
I don't understand the problem.
Well, everyone was having a good time when I noticed those skinny humans were just sitting there, not even having the decency to pay attention, just nursing waters. Waters! So I asked them, well, shouted really, what in the hell they thought they were doing, ignoring the fine entertainment and then insulting the establishment by not having ale?
If all you did was shout, then that's hardly a fight.
And maybe I shoved one of them a bit, or tried to break a chair over their skulls, since they were making a point of pretending they didn't hear me. Rude, I tell you.
Then what?
Ah, well, they used me as a bar rag first, and not a single punch I threw even hit them. Oh, they were moving too fast, and plus, I think I was seeing double or triple. Ugh, after they smashed my face into the bar a few times, they showed me the floor up close. The floor was pretty dirty by that point, by the way. Then, as the final blow, they sent me flying like a drunk hippogriff out the window. Magical it was. So, after I woke up and wiped the blood out of my eyes, and finally found all my teeth, I went back in and thanked them. Best beating I've ever received. They seemed a little taken aback by my friendliness, and it turns out they were part of some order, son something or other, and get this, they devoted their lives to fighting with their fists. Can you imagine? Lifetime devotion to brawling. It's their lives, their craft.
So, they were monks.
They're monks, eh? Crazy water-drinking fools. Hope drinking water isn't what makes them fight like that. Anyway, that life sounded like destiny to me. I mean, those skinny excuses for humans were good. And then they spent their whole lives kicking the hell out of others, training for it. That's when I knew that's what I wanted to do with my life. My purpose was clear.
I don't think kicking the hell out of others is the point of a monastic order. And I should know, I'm a monk.
Huh? Of course it is. Well, as far as I could tell once my head stopped ringing.
It's more a state of mind and body.
You mean like headbutting someone? I already know how to do that, though sometimes I need to grab them by the beard or collar and yank their head down so I could hit it properly.
It's not about violence, Kergon.
Oh, is that so? Well, I must have missed that part while they were wiping down the tavern with my face and throwing me through a window. Shows how much you know about it. You didn't
What
see
do
them
I
in
know?
action.
Just a monk.
All right, go on and ask them.
Need to know more about you if you're going to travel with me.
Well, there's a great deal to tell, especially if we're going with clan history and our accomplishments. But chances are, and I don't blame you, you're just asking about me, personally. So let me give you the short version. I've been traveling the Sword Coast for a year or two, making my trade at villages and towns, and, well, making my trade at taverns as well, but you already had a taste of that at the Weeping Willow. All right, go on and ask them.
Why are you going to Neverwinter?
Well, I hear there's an order of them tall-robed skinnies who have opened their doors to anyone who wants to learn how to smash skulls. And I plan on taking them up on their generous offer. It won't be the same as a tavern brawl to be fighting inside a different type of building. But I figure I can make the change as long as there are things to break and windows to throw people out of. All right, go on and ask them.
Do you know anything about the creatures pursuing us?
No, they're strange ones to be sure, with all their hissing and spitting. They also don't seem to be ones for a stand-up brawl, always relying on ambushes and sneaking up. If they have a problem with you, I say they get all their clan together and face us at once, without all this chipping away at our patience. Of course they know we'd probably send them running back to their mothers. So chances are, they're just trying to make us angry. Alright, go on and ask them.
Have you heard the word Karacha before?
It's no proper dwarf curse, that's for sure. Sounds like something they want to find pretty badly, though, whatever it is. Alright, go on and ask them.
Tell me a little about yourself.
Well, there's a great deal to tell. Especially, and well, making my trade at taverns as well. Alright, go on and ask them.
Never mind, let's keep moving.
I'm going to snap my fingers and close my eyes. When I open them, you will be gone.
I like him.
What's going on?
Who are you?
Nishka. Nishka. Emphasis on the ni. Not many people get it right. Or try to.
Nishka, that's an odd name.
I'm told it means something in the lower plains, but since I don't get down there much, although, obviously, good old Grandpa made a habit of coming up here for the nightlife, if, you get my meaning.
So you're a tiefling?
Yeah, but shh, don't tell anyone. I wouldn't want anyone else to figure it out. I mean, aside from the horns and the traces of demon blood. Questions. Go ahead. I'm all horns.
Tell me a little about yourself.
Me? Well, I don't know. I'm me, I guess.
That's it? Yo-yo?
No one usually asks, so finding the words is a little hard. Trust me. People usually make up the whole story once they spot the demon blood, if they ask at all.
I'm asking now, so expect some answers.
This is so exciting. Wow, where to begin? Okay, well, I have no idea who my mom or dad was. I was abandoned, but raised by priests who tried to convert me, so I went away for a long time.
Priest?
Yeah, priests of Helm. The Watcher. The Vigilant One. Kind to children. Were they a hard-headed bunch? Really up on the discipline, not so much on the caring and forgiveness. But they're priests of Helm, so what are you gonna do?
Not much on forgiveness?
Yeah, I mean, we all get into trouble sometimes, or a lot. And I guess they ran out of I forgive yous at some point. Anyway, so after helping myself to their collection plate after a particularly moving sermon, I decided to see what else I could help myself to. But you know, those tales could fill a book, and I don't want to chew your ear off. Maybe some other time. Questions. Go ahead. I'm all horns.
Do you know anything about the creature pursuing us?
Well, the Githyanki are probably one of the worst groups of zealots you could ever have chasing you. The lower planes excluded. Githyanki are smart, even for religious halfwits. So I hope they haven't targeted you for some holy crusade, because then you'd be deep in the sticks, let me tell you. The thing is, they usually aren't this persistent. They have a set goal, they hit it, and then they're out of there. Plus, they don't usually stay on one plane for too long. The astral plane is their home.
Any idea why they're here?
Your coin's as good as mine. Could be anything, but whatever it is, it must be pretty important to them.
Other questions?
Questions. Go ahead. I'm all horns.
Have you ever heard the term Karacha before?
It's not demonic, but it does have a certain plainer tone to it. It's hard to explain. It's an odd dialect. But those Githyanki chasing you definitely aren't from this stretch of the woods. Maybe we could catch one and ask them. Questions. Go ahead. I'm all horns.
Do you have any useful skills?
I'm good at slipping into places, but not all the time. Coaxing locks to open, dodging traps, you know, subtle stuff. And I may have accidentally
Useful
backstabbed
indeed.
some people in the past, but if they couldn't see me coming, well, that's their loss.
That's foreshadowing. Okay.
Questions. Go ahead. I'm all horns.
I wanted to ask you about some of our companions.
Yeah? Which one of the marks you wanted to know about? Not the barrel-head dwarf, is it?
What about him?
Well, he needs to watch his tongue, or it's gonna run right out of his mouth and get stepped on. I mean, you did me a good turn. All I want to do is help out, and he's yelling at me like some old mule. I know he's short, and it's rough being in the big people's world. But he needs to stop being all defensive, especially for someone so small.
He just needs a little more time to get used to you.
Story of my life. You'd be surprised how much you hear that when you're about to be burned at the stake or run out of the local hamlet. He's too quick to start fights, that's his problem. He keeps it up, he's not going to have anyone watching his back. Or more likely, looking over it. Questions. Go ahead. Yeah? Which one of the marks you wanted to know about? Not the barrel-head dwarf, is it?
I actually meant Eleni.
The tree worshipper? What about her? If you're asking if she has any money or valuables, then no. I already checked.
I was more interested in what you thought of her.
I don't know. She's got pointy ears, but doesn't smell of the lower planes. So she's probably not a tiefling. And she's too tall to be a halfling, and too thin. Plus, she hangs out with animals. So she's an elf. What do you expect me to say? She's one of those nature priests. Worship trees and the land, don't like cities, so don't have much traffic with her kind. Questions.
Let's flirt.
Go.
I love your eyes. Technisch Kazan and kiss her fingers. So nimble. My best asset. She looks at your hand with pride.
What's going on?
Let's flirt a bit more. Playfully slap the tieflings behind. She easily dodges your clumsy attempt and then slaps you in the butt, gaining the one.
What's going on?
Let's flirt a bit more. Make Nishka jealous by smiling at Eleni. Nishka glares at you.
What now?
Let's talk to Eleni.
Our companion Kelgar mentioned West Harbor to me. I heard what happened there. To your friends, the other villagers. The attack by those creatures that forced you to leave.
They all had it coming. Our militia is a joke. If I hadn't been there, they would have all been wiped out.
Still, to leave your home. I sometimes forget the attachments one can put to a place. With my kind, especially those that listen to nature, there is no one place that we call home. Everywhere we go throughout the land is comforting, with its own sounds and life.
Sounds like you're not one to tie yourself down.
Perhaps. Perhaps not. The mare drew me more than any other place, so I did not travel much beyond its edges. We deal with few outside of our own circle. I have not seen my own kind in many years, and I spoke with the circle only rarely. But surely we were not here to discuss how I feel about things. Was there something you needed? What did you wish to know?
Who are you?
I have little use for titles or names. Such things speak of the ways of cities and walls. But if you are in need of such, then you may call me Eleni, once of the mare where dead men rest, now no more.
No more?
The dead walk again in the marsh, and strange creatures prowl the edges of the mare. There were only a few signs at first. Then they grew. Animals began to vanish and die, to be lost in the depths of the mare. The lizard men fled from their homes across the swamps, driving ever deeper into the territory of men. And more terribly, the land itself has started to fall silent, and to bleed. What did you wish to know?
How long have you been following me?
I have followed you since you left West Harbor, your village that borders the mare. And I followed you as you explored the ruins that lie outside your village. It is an ancient place, older than the mare itself. It is not a place where even the circle were willing to tread. It's difficult to hear the mare there, so we avoid it unless necessary.
Were you responsible for the badger and for rooting my enemies in place on the road?
I was the one who sent the animals of the forest to your aid, though there are fewer of them to answer my call than in days past. And yes, I summoned nature to aid you when the second group attacked.
Why were you following me?
It is not something I can explain, but I feel these creatures pursue you for a reason. Where you walk, so do they. You are either a threat or prey to them, and I must discover which.
And why is it important to you?
These creatures that hound you are responsible for other crimes. Much rides on this, both from the past and the present.
Why did you wait for so long before revealing yourself?
I was uncertain of your goals and your intentions, and whether you were some ally of these creatures. Only during the later stages of the attack did I feel compelled to intervene. It is always in our nature to watch, to observe. To act is at times difficult.
Our nature? Or the more of you?
It is not something I wish to discuss. Let us leave it for another time. If there is something else you wish to ask, then do so. But there are some things which shall remain mine and mine alone. What did you wish to know?
Why are you trying to help me?
My reasons are my own, and I will share them when I wish. Until then, you must learn patience and trust that I am your ally in this, until the end.
Need more influence.
What did you wish to know?
Before you mentioned the circle, what did you mean?
It is not something I wish to discuss. If there is something else you wish to ask, then do so. But there are some things which shall remain mine and mine alone. What did you wish to know?
Can you tell me more of the Mare of Dead Men?
The Mare is no longer a place I know well. And where it once teemed with life, now it has fallen silent. Something stirs there, but I know not what.
You sound frightened.
It was not always the case. I have spent many years in its depths, learning its ways. And there was much to learn. Always.
Can you tell me more about it?
It's a tale for another time, and there are more pressing concerns. Perhaps in time we may discuss it further.
Okay.
What did you wish to know?
Questions? You seem to know a lot about the Mare of Dead Men.
Do you think this is the first lifetime I have spent in the mists of Mer Delane? My life in the Mare dates back several lifetimes. Many of my ancestors lie beneath its waters. And my ancestors were there when Mer Delane gained its human name, before there were even such tiny settlements as West Harbor and Redfallow's Watch.
Redfallow's Watch?
The name means nothing to you, does it? Of course not. The Mare claimed it over 50 years ago in its slow march across the land. And before that was the event where it gained its human name.
Its human name?
My people once called the Mare Mer Delane, the slow tide or slow marching court. In the times before the wars of men gave it a new name, before humans settled on its shores. And those settlements are mostly gone now. Their manors and castles now ruins, desperately reaching their hands above the water. It is for all who dwell within cities that the land will take again what was taken from it, whether cut stone, carved wood, or fields sliced by the plow.
You said this wasn't your first lifetime in the Mare of Dead Men. How old are you?
No, for my father perished there in the fog, slain by orc soldiers from the mountains. It is his life that I speak of when I say lifetimes. On the year the swamp gained its new name, there was a great battle fought miles within its borders. Orcs spilling from the mountains drove humans, dwarves, and my people into the swamps, where they were surrounded, and cut down in the fog, trapped in mud where the footings of the orcs proved truer. But there were no need for graves. Their corpses were all embraced and dragged down, and what dead lay upon the surface were taken by the others who dwelled in the swamp. And so, even in the fog, the ghosts still whisper and weep of lost Mer Delane, the song taken up by countless elven widows that cry across its shores. And always, the Mare seeks more dead to draw them down into its waters, down amongst the dead ones.
What happened then?
I was orphaned from that battle, when the first of the circle found me wailing in the mist, in those very ruins you traveled to outside of West Harbor. They gathered me up and I made no sound, and they took me into the heart of the Mare to show me its secret ways, and there was always much to learn. In time, though I knew only some of its ways, I became accepted into the circle, and accepted by the Mare as well. It was only the last test that I failed.
What last test? What last test?
Perhaps we shall speak of it another time.
Influence failure.
But not now.
Other
What did you wish to know?
If you know about a presence in the Mare, can you guide us to it?
The Mare is no longer a place I know well. Something has built a black wall, something beyond which none of the circle could pass, even with the secret ways. all it touches dies, and it is slowly growing, advancing from the heart of the mare and driving life before it. And without life, without the land to aid us, one without the means to cross that wall is threatened to be consumed by it.
Can you tell me more about this barrier?
Such things are not born of the land. It is a blight.
A blight.
A presence from somewhere else that strikes at Faerun. Perhaps only by reaching beyond the land, into the libraries and tomes written on the skin of the trees and beasts, can such mysteries be made clear. What did you wish to know?
Have you heard the word Kalakcha before?
It is not a dwarvish or elvish word, but I have heard some of the creatures who pursue you speak that phrase, like a title or a curse. What did you wish to know?
Do you have any skills that could help us?
There is much of the wild and the land that I know, and as I speak their language, it hears me and it will answer. If you need to speak to the beasts and those who dwell in the land, I can help you do this. There is much they see and know that those blinded to the lands do not see. Sometimes I can shed my skin for a while, take on the form of another of the land's dwellers. There is no magic in it, just the ability to relax the mind. I am still learning its ways, but they will come to me in time.
Eleni, upon reaching level 5th level, can begin to take the shape of other animals and beasts.
What did you wish
Other
to know?
Questions? Do you know anything about the lizard folk from the mare?
Some of the lizard men of the mare are trained in listening to the land, but some merely prey on others, and their ears are filled only by the running of prey in the swamp, rather than the swamp itself. Many of those who listen are now gone, entire tribes who have vanished. Their absence is causing an imbalance that is swinging more and more out of control as the remaining tribes fight for dominance, or flee the mare.
Flee?
Yes, many lizardman tribes are being driven from the mare into the lands of men, and the war is spreading, weakening the lands surrounding the mare.
Other questions?
What did you wish to know?
Flirt. One thing you have in common with your badger is the pleasing roundness of certain forms. Leave Elenis behind an approving look. Tess, and I thought your folk thought themselves refined compared to the lizardmen. Let's
Is there
flirt
something
some
you
more. Brush some dirt off Elenis' shoulder. Elenis' eyes stop at your hand and she watches it silently, memorizing its line movement. You do not see her chest move nor her breathe, as if she caught her breath when you touched her. Okay. Bishop ignore you. Let's finally talk to Uncle Duncan.
Well now, what can I do for you? Bit of venom for the belly, perhaps? Or maybe a tankard or two to shave the edge off your day?
Is this the second flagon?
It is indeed. Finest establishment in the docks for a fine tankard of ale and some good conversation.
Who's the owner of this inn?
You mean old Duncan? Oh, well now, if you're looking to collect on some debt, I'll tell you that he's a drunk, and he hasn't got 2 coppers to his name.
Dagon sent me.
Dagon, eh? So the time's come, has it? Trouble's chasing on your heels, and you barely know why. Suppose Dagon told you less than half of what you need to know, then sent you packing. Don't take it hard. Done it to me twice in my life. All for good reason. I can probably guess why you're here, but why don't you go ahead and tell me anyway?
When he told me to come here, Dagon was a little vague. Do you know what this shard is?
Trace of an enchantment on it is what that eel sand said, but nothing of importance. Probably residue from demon's fire, or maybe wizard magic.
Demon's fire? Sounds important to me.
And that, Sal, is why you are cleaning tables and I own this place. Those shards were magic, yes, a trace. But again, it was sand. And he's a fool. Anyway, barely worth mentioning. More sentimental value than anything else. That really why you came all this way? To hear about your mother?
My mother? What does she have to do with this?
Yeah, your mother, Esmeril. Since you were asking about the shards. What, Dagon's still keeping that inside? It's a wonder he doesn't crack down the middle. But you know, I have no call to say that. I think that's why he buried that first shard. And gave the other one to me.
How are the shards and my mother related?
I think you might have been better off being raised by wolves if Dagon didn't share that. There's a lot I'm sure he never told you. But listen, it's his place to tell you, not mine. He'll tell you when he's ready, I think. But it's best you hear it from him. Let's stick to the shards for now.
I bought another shard and it's definitely magic.
You brought it here? Dug it up from those ruins? Now why in the nine hells would you go digging up the past like that? Look, and listen. There's no good in picking up history's bones, especially where that warlock's concerned. I heard the tales, and Dagon told me what happened at West Harbor that night.
Who's sent?
A hedge wizard. Somehow set up shop on the docks. But it's telling enough he can only run a business down here in the crack of Neverwinter. Got a dry wit, and he'll always rub you the wrong way. So his name's well chosen. Still, I suppose I trust him enough. And having a wizard close by certainly tends to keep fools from causing too much trouble. Well, me and Dagon took the shard to him back when he lived in the merchant quarter, before his run of bad luck. But he couldn't get much from it. Just faint traces.
Can I see the other shard?
Here. I've always kept it close for some reason. Didn't want to leave it out of my sight. Seemed unremarkable. But I find that sometimes time will tell. Had Sand examine it a long time ago, but he turned up nothing.
Maybe with the two of them, you might get a better reading from it.
Well, it's worth a shot. Don't pay him any coin in advance, that's all I'll say. In fact, that viper would be best off.
Ah, it seems I've arrived just in time to deflect the usual barrage of slander from the local innkeeper.
Sand.
Yes, it is good to see you're still sober enough to recognize me, Duncan. Past the stale beer, vinegar, faint sweat, failed aspirations, unwashed tunic. I thought perhaps you had already had one tankard too many for the day, but...
Why, your guest here has the smell of a harbin about them. Faint.
He said them stink.
But there...
I thought Duncan was keeping company too good for him. Now I see I was right. Duncan, you could learn a few things from your guest.
Still passing off those 2 copper fairweather charms to the locals, Sand?
You have no appreciation for my talents, and after all I've done for you. To think you could survive a fortnight without my ale purgative. Why, you would be buried in the tombs with the rest of the Neverwinter traitors. A betrayer of barkeepers everywhere. But enough about you and your adventurous exploits on the tavern floor. I heard my name mentioned, and oddly enough, almost in a tone that suggested I could help.
This here's kin.
I'm not really seeing the family resemblance.
And we need your help concerning the shard. Both of them.
Shard? That chunk of silver you showed me so long ago? I do hope you're not going to try to pawn it to me again. I am no longer interested. Besides, as I recall, you said the piece of junk had sentimental value, which upon viewing your establishment is perfectly understandable. Besides, didn't your uncle or cousin or brother or whatever make off with the other shard? I thought you only had one now.
It found its way back, so to speak. We need you to look at both of them again. Properly this time.
Oh, very well. Give them here and let me see what my keen arcane senses can determine. Well, it seems to have some resentment to being scryed. That is quite different than last time. Are you sure these are the same shards? The power in them. Why, it's definitely stronger than last time. Much stronger.
Oh, so now they're magical. I'm not paying you for 2 failed divinations, you charlatan.
It's not a matter of divination, you one-tankard drunk. There is something about these shards. Without knowing their history, even my considerable talents cannot unlock their mysteries.
How could you not sense the magic in those shards? I can tell just by holding them.
Because he's incompetent?
Duncan, the more I speak to your kin here, it's evident where the sense in the family went. Since you seem to have been given all the brains of the family, I'll be honest with you, I don't know. But I do know the shards did not have the same strength the first time I examined them. There could be something about you that causes them to resonate, but I have no idea why that would be.
So who would know the shard history?
You could try and speak to Aldanon, but I don't think you'd have much luck reaching him. The Blacklake district is closed down. Aldanon lives in the Blacklake district, you see, and now he's trapped there. The watch has it locked tight. No one going in or out, no messages in or out, even for the nobles that used to live there. Quite cryptic, really.
Great. Probably have to jump through a wall of fire to get in, right?
I heard about that. Lord Dalrin was killed, wasn't he? I've heard rumors, but no official word of what happened.
As have I. Not only are the Watch not talking about it, but they even called in the Cloak Tower mages to investigate, which means sorcery or demons were at work.
Demons? Closest I've ever come to demons is Dagon's tales about the battles down south near West Harbor, when there was that trouble with the King of Shadows.
King of Shadows?
Some sorcerer, I believe, had a number of demons and shadows at his beck and call. Not many tales left about that period of Neverwinter history, oddly enough.
But you say this Aldanon might know more, Sand?
Well, if you're not a member of the Watch, or know a secret route into Blacklake, then you're out of luck. So it seems like you have no choice but to let me examine the shards at my leisure. I'll need to hold on to them, of course.
Wait, Watch or secret route? Not bad ideas. Either way, the coin lands. Hell, there's Marshal Cormac. He's currently at the city watch post, and I know he's in bad need of an extra sword arm down at the docks.
Cormac? From Fort Lock?
Yes, I heard he got back to Neverwinter recently. Surprised he even made it with the troubles I've heard around Fort Lock.
Trust me, you don't know the half of it.
Cormac's a harborman too. And folks of the harbor are as close to kin as you can get out of the mare. He might be able to take you into the watch. And from there, speaking to Aldanon shouldn't be too hard.
Is there any other way?
If you want to find another route into the Blacklake district, that means dealing with other folks that try to control the docks. Moya and her gang.
Oh, there's an idea, Duncan. They probably were behind the Watch closing the Blacklake district in the first place.
Not my first choice, but if I had to speak to her, how would I?
Well, she's got thugs all over the docks. But finding one who can get you to her?
There's Caleb. He used to try to get me to pay him gold for protection before I told him about the wards I'd inscribed on the building that caged the Guardian Elementals. Long story, but quick resolution.
Caleb, maybe. But I don't trust that harbor rat to give you a fair deal. And the price will be steep, in bodies or coin. He doesn't like being the only one with blood on his hands.
Doesn't sound like someone we should put our faith in.
Obviously, you've never dealt with the Watch in Neverwinter, Kelgar. Dealing with Caleb is probably our best chance.
Still, the chances are simply talking to Caleb will make you want to kill him, so it seems a clear win to me. If you do speak to him, though, be sure to do it downwind.
So, last playthrough, I've joined the Thieves Guild, Thieves Gang. So this playthrough, we join the Watch. I want to join the Watch. Maybe I can do some good while at it. Where can I find Marshal Cormac?
I'm with that. Nothing like a good excuse to knock some heads together and do some good while we're at it.
Yeah, great. I hope nobody else I know finds out, or there goes my sterling reputation.
You can find Cormac in the watch post near the Dolphin Bridge that leads to the Merchant Quarter. He needs help, so it shouldn't be much of a tough sell to join up.
Caleb should be lounging around the corner east along the main road. Just follow the smell. If you want to join with him, he'll probably ask you to hurt or kill someone, so be warned.
I'll mark both on your map. Help you get your bearings.
Well, you can certainly find your way into trouble from here. Me, I will head back to my lonely merchant existence. Should you need my expertise, simply ask. But just in case, bring a great deal of gold as well.
Well, there you have it. Talk to Caleb or Cormac. Cormac is at the watch post near the Dolphin Bridge. Caleb should be lounging down the street east along the main road. But while you're here, feel free to make yourself at home. Also, any friend of yours is a friend of mine. Your companions are welcome to stay here as well, even if you're off on some other journey like the one that sent you here. They're all welcome to make themselves at home whenever they're not traveling with you. That way you'll know where to find them if you need their help later. Sound good?
Did anyone ever come hunting for your shard?
No, not that I know of. I mean, I've kept it in the back for years. Barely even thought about it till now. It is odd that they seem to be after yours. Maybe there's something different about the one you have compared to mine. But then again, my shard didn't have any traces of magic until yours showed up.
What do you know about scent?
That little sharp-eared viper's got a wit to match. But he has his uses. And he's one of the only peddlers of charms and potions here in the docks, so he gets by.
Still don't understand why he couldn't afford that place in the merchant quarter. His potions are cheap, and they work.
If you need to use his alchemy workbench, or you're shopping for some minor magics, then he's a good one to see. What did you want to know?
What can you tell me about Dagon and my mother?
Only as much as Dagon allows. He keeps his past close, despite how it keeps everyone else from him. I knew your mother, though. I know you lost her early. Terrible tragedy. During that attack on the village. But that's really Dagon's place to say, not mine.
Farewell. Okay. So, let's continue. Halfway to level 5, and we got another shard. Resistant to acid 5, resistant to electrical 5. Okay. Let's continue. Let's talk to the armor smith. Bender's luck. Very expensive armor. Chain shirt. Flaming gloves. Pretty nice, but it's so expensive. Light shield, mask of persuasion, great oak. I won't buy anything for now. Karakcha! Karakcha! Kill those bladelings. Nice. Let's talk to the weaponsmith. Show me what you have for sale. Okay, let's buy bullets +1. What else?
How can I help?
Nishka.
I believe so.
Let's sell this armor. And buy Nishka. Buy Nishka rapier +1.
Yes.
I believe so.
Everybody, follow me.
Nice.
I believe so.
Sell this one. Wand of Paralyzation. I can sell this. Okay. What else? That's it. Wait. Is there a magic bag? A better magic bag? Nope. Let's talk to Comic. There must be someone you can spare, Lieutenant. He's the first to take a stand against those thugs and deserve our protection. You know the number of men I have available to me, Marshal. You also know the efforts I've been taking to weed out turncoats. I could send some watchmen to this shopkeeper, but then we'll have to postpone the sweep through the northern district. I'm sure you will agree that we want every man available for that operation. The council hasn't done us any favors with that last vote, have they, Lieutenant? We'll just have to make do with what we've been given. Very well, postpone the sweep. Assign some men to the shopkeeper. Place the others on... Well, look what the winds brought into Neverwinter. It's good to see you again. If I recall, you were promised a reward if you decided to seek me out. I spoke with my captain once and returned, and she agreed that your services were quite valuable. The watch is most generous, thank you. Got 300 gold. Glad to see you. Your harrowing journey through the mare hasn't changed you. A lot of people come out of that place changed, not for the better. But enough of that, what can I do with well armament? I need to enter Blacklake district. Beautiful place, worth the trip. But we have the entire district locked up tight. You won't be getting in anytime soon. Is there anything you can do to help me? The only way anyone gets in if they're a member of the watch, and Captain Bralain has to personally approve anyone who wants to enter Blacklake. That woman takes her job very seriously. She won't just give you one if you ask. What if I work for the City Watch? Will that help? It could be a good start, knowing you're more than capable of handling the job. If you make enough of an impact, Captain Brelena may even take an interest to you. And believe me, you'll have plenty of opportunities to show off your abilities. What do I need to do? City Watch has lost its grip here on the Docks district. Criminals gangs are running loose, and even some of our own seems to have forgotten the oaths that they took when they joined. It hasn't been just your usual crime wave, however. These thugs have been well organized. We've heard the name, Moira. We think she's the one running the gang. We also know others have tried to organize their own gangs. City Watch is outnumbered. You can see we can use every man willing to join our ranks. If this will get me into Blacklake, then count me in. What do you tell you about this one, Row? Gets things done with little fuss. Yes, sir, a valuable recruit. The captain will be pleased. Here, you will need to wear this cloak to mark you as a member of the City Watch, and believe me, your arrival has helped us more immensely. Now, we wish you had the time for you to settle in, but we've got a problem with one of the shopkeepers. His name is Hagen, and he's decided to stand up for the criminals of this district. Get down to his shop and make sure nothing happens to him. My gut tells me Mora's crew isn't through with him yet. Lieutenant, it would seem our troubles are solved. The sweep through the Northgard can occur on schedule. Yes, thank you. I recommend that you make your way to Hagen's as soon as possible. I worry for his safety. Okay. We got a cloak. Plus one diplomacy. Plus one intimidate. Let's wear that.
I hear you.
Okay. Let's save. Let's save. Well, I think that's enough for this time. Join me next time. Bye bye.